Hey, Rockstar. The great John C. Maxwell once said, "He who thinketh he leadeth, but hath none who followeth, only taketh a walketh." Try saying that 5 times fast. Welcome to episode 78, Lead Like a Rockstar. It's going to be a good one. Miguel, are you ready, buddy? Yeah, do the thing. Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. 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 Hey, Rockstar! Welcome! This is a storytelling platform designed to empower you to build yourself up physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and financially. Why stories? Because stories live on. They are eternal. They are a powerful reminder of what one can accomplish when opportunity presents itself. So listen carefully, learn the lessons, apply them to the Big Five, and become the rock star of your industry. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. I am Josafat Emiliano, and you are now watching Hey, Rockstar. Whew, it's been a while since I've been here. I'm here with a good show. I want to just share some things out for you. Where have I been? What has been going on? A lot of things have happened. So right now, I'm inviting you guys to share this with your friends. If you know any people who are interested in leadership or would-be leaders or entrepreneurship, or just someone who wants to grow in that aspect of influencing others, tell them, hey, my boy Josafat has something going for you guys right now. I'm going to share with you methods how to lead like a rock star. Now, you may be asking me, hey, Mr. Emiliano or Mr. El Guapo, what makes you an expert on the topic of leadership? And last night I stayed at a Holiday Inn, so I got you. Or maybe because I have the red glasses and a red square, which is a power color. That is more than enough credentials to be a leader, right? Nah, I'm gonna take this off because I don't need it now. I don't have a guest on, and I want to be able to be free to talk to you guys. No. Well, those of you who know about me know that I have a background. Well, actually, my leadership experience began back in ministry. Starting as, if you think about it, I know I look somewhat young, but I have at least 25, maybe 26 years of experience working in leadership. Starting off in ministry, and eventually from ministry, I went into work or production, and in directors and in film, in different aspects of places where I've been given opportunities to. And you know what? I've always started from the ground up. I've learned where I was at, and I eventually worked my way up to a leadership role. And now today, as you know, is now I'm in business, and I'm helping, or my whole goal, my whole vision is to find and mentor leaders, entrepreneurs, and I happen to use a financial education platform for that. But I'm here to bring value. So that's what today's going to be about, just bringing value, showing you a few things, and just kind of, just sitting back and thinking about how it was that I've worked with people, how it was that have helped, and I kind of simplified it to 5 steps. So we'll see where that goes. So rules for today's show, in case this is your first time: if you want to contribute, if you want to add to our conversation, feel free to comment, whether you're watching on I think it's YouTube, or whether you're watching on the Facebook Live, or maybe you are on Periscope via Twitter. If you're watching it, any comments you make, I will be able to see this. If they're relevant to the conversation, I will tag it. If they're not relevant to the conversation, then I will wait till after the show and hopefully get down to it. So I'm debating whether I want to have the shades on, or the shades off. Either way, let's just have fun. All right, so I'm thinking back right now. I was thinking about, talking about, starting from church, being one of the leaders. Actually, it was before youth. Our church had a program called Roar Rangers, where you're able to grow and learn. It's kind of like Boy Scouts, but with a faith base to it, for young boys and young men. And eventually you work, and when you hit a certain age, like older than 18, 19, 20, whatever, then you're allowed to start you can become a commander, a leader. But by the age of 16, they had already issued me leadership roles and starting to lead others. I was always like a team leader, I guess, if you want to put it at that. And I don't know, I've always have found myself in roles of just, especially whenever you find yourself in a room and no one takes the initiative, I've always been able to just stand up like, well, let's move forward. Maybe because of the way I was brought up, or maybe it's that natural confidence that comes. But in different situations, and right now I remember all the way even through college. I remember going into my senior year at college. I basically had shook hands with everyone. Everyone on campus knew who I was, and so much so that on my senior year, unanimously, everyone wanted me to become the class president for our senior year at this university. And I'm like, well, I mean, sure, I'll run for it. Why not? And because I was running unopposed. No one was like, well, heck, we want Josafat. So why? No one wanted to run against me, I guess. But I have a friend, Josh Green. He's being silly. He goes, you know what? Just because you need someone to run against you, I'm just gonna put my name on the ballot just because. And I'm like, go for it, brother. He's like, I know I'm not gonna get it, but just because I want to say that I ran. It's been a dream of mine to run for president, or class president, even though I'm not gonna get it. Like, go for it, brother. Josh, if you're watching this, man, please reach out. Let's reconnect. I got so much to share with you, but towards the end of that semester, or towards the end of my junior semester, or no, going to my second semester of junior year, I was talking to my counselors, and they said, honestly, if you were to double up your credits, like you do take your courses, and then you could take some online courses, you could double, and you'd save money, and you just pass the exams, take a summer class, or a winter class, and they basically said you could actually graduate early. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do that. So I wound up doing that. So entering into my senior year, before the elections, I had to drop out that same month. Like, well, there's no point in me running for class president because I'm not going to be here for the entire time. I'm going to graduate early and save myself some money. Josh, I remember when I told the news, he's like, no. So he won by default and he became the president. I told him, don't worry, man. I mean, the half semester or the semester I'm here, I'll help you out. I'll support you. I'll be your wingman, and if you need this. And he did a good job. But I just remember that poor guy. He was trying to be funny and he wound up having to take the responsibility because of your boy. All right. So let's talk about leadership. And I started thinking about just the way that I've run my ship. And it's the way that I feel comfortable learning and the way that I feel comfortable leading, or how it's just naturally happened. The different areas, and I guess we'll talk about it as I go through this, but I kind of sat down and came up with just 5 different steps. I think maybe that's going to be my niche. We're going to talk in fives, in groups of 5s. But let's just go and jump right in because the time will escape us. But the first one, the way that I do leadership when it comes to anyone who wants to enter into my sphere of influence is the first thing I ask is for them to join me. So if you're taking notes, the first step is join me. What does that mean? I want them to partner with me. I want them to travel with me. I want them to sit with me, eat with me. Let's build community. And I guess I get this from like the biblical sense. Even Jesus, whenever he called his 12, he's like, hey, just follow me, man. I'm not expecting you to do much more than just be around me, get a feel for me, get a need to know what it's like to be around me. And so a lot of things that I've learned in leadership is that sometimes you just got to build rapport. You got to learn to listen. You got to learn to just let them be, but also let them be around you. Let them experience things that you do, the way you do things, the things you watch, the things you eat. Just let them get into your mind. And that's kind of what mentorship is. Especially back in the day, when someone took an interest in becoming or to follow some kind of career path, like a smith or a tailor or carpentry, any kind of those things, the way that people would learn is they would take an internship. They would start walking and living and helping the person. And sometimes there was some like even the rabbis, whenever they were called, that's what's so powerful. Whenever Jesus called, because Jesus was considered a rabbi, it was considered a teacher. And the way the Hebrew custom is the teacher would go find the student and say, hey, you follow me, come with me, walk with me. And that was the beginning steps of that student to become a teacher, by just being around. And it's there's power with just being around someone that you admire, someone you want to be around, be with. The deal about the one thing that we share a lot in our business is that the business that we're in, it's not so much taught, but it's caught. You wind up catching things because you are around people. So my first step in leadership, and what I encourage, is just, as a leader, make yourself accessible to those who you want to lead. Make yourself tangible. Make yourself easy to reach if you want to. Now, I know, especially if you're working with big, massive groups, the temptation is there to be untouchable. But if you truly are a leader, you need to humble yourself and let the person just sit with you. And you never know who might be the best, who's going to be the person who follows you. You might need 1 or 2, 3 different people to start just getting to know you, getting to know how you do things. In church, I remember when I was directing a lot of the videos, or directing the online production, one of the first things that I got to do was just sit with Ben. Although the way I learned how to direct is I asked him if I could shadow him. He goes, sure, man. And we sat there, we talked, we hung out, and I kind of realized, hey, this is kind of like live editing. And he goes, cool. Well, here, just play with it. I gotta go take care of something. And then, like, literally 10 minutes before church started, he came up to me, goes like, hey, bro, something came up. I gotta take care of it. You got this, right? I'm like, huh? So he just kind of threw me in that boat. But all that to say is got the fellowship. I remember before Ben and Hope were actually Connect Group leaders, so they always made themselves accessible. So I always appreciated that, and just being there. So that's the first one. The first one is, hey, join me. Just hey, join me for lunch. Join me to catching up. Oh, speaking of, as a director, Once we got into the new building, we had two positions where you had the online director, the person who was calling the shots, but you also had an in-house director. And I always loved bringing in new people to do in-house because they sat next to me. They would watch how I would do things. They would watch how I would call calls, and in the way they would start to just develop their own way. They'd get more comfortable, but they had a responsibility, but at the same time, they were just to hang out with me. But anyway, actually, some of the best directors that we've had were people who just got to know me as a friend first. So, first step, join me. Second step, well, help me. All right. Help me basically is, all right, so now we got this task that we want to do. There's a need here. This is something that I do all the time. There's something that I would like for you to just assist me with. And again, it's all with that partnership, just hanging out with me. Well, now hang out with me as I do this. I tell you what, hold on to this for me. And that's where that apprenticeship comes in. And a lot of the things that I learned were on the field training in ministry and actually even in video, in media, was just I was helping my leaders with a need that they need help with. Like I helped Ben with directing, I helped Ben tear down, set up, and then when Rodney came in, I would help him. I would actually help him with coaching others. Once I learned the positions very well and I was able to help that, I would, and they started giving me more responsibility. I would help come up with creative ways to put the camera in different positions. Like every time, I don't know why. Well, actually, I'm kind of jumping the gun here. Every person needs help. Every leader, we need help. Like James Maxwell, or like John Maxwell said, he who thinketh he leadeth, but no one followeth, only taketh or walketh. We need to realize that we can't do it on our own. Or actually, we're much better with the help of our friends. Hey, there you go. The Beatles. Of course, my favorite version is Joe Cocker's version. I get by with a little help of my friends. Everyone needs help, and it's okay to ask for help, most especially when you want to lead. All right, yeah, we'll go with that one. I'm trying to think of stories off the fly, but as they come up, they'll come up. Number three is take care of this for me. All right, so now we go into delegation. So first of all, you let them hang out with you. So join me is mostly so they can understand your heart, understand the way you work, understand my vision, I guess, or just my mannerisms. Just understand me. Help me is now I have something big, but I can't do it by myself. Just help me grab here and I'll grab on here. Let's walk side by side. We're equals in this almost. But now delegation is like, you know what? You've learned, you've grown. I believe that I can release this to you and you can take care of this for me. And by empowering someone to move on and grow in this area, you can start focusing in other areas that you need to work on in your vision, in your business, in your life, maybe your mindset, whatever, your family, whatever you need to take care of. You now have someone that knows your heart, knows your mind, has worked and practiced alongside with you, knows how you like to see it done. But now here's the cool thing is, now I'm gonna let you take care of this for me. But not only that, what's important about take care of this for me is you need to release it. Try your best not to micromanage. I've had leaders who micromanage and it just doesn't work because they are limited by their experience. They're not open to the idea that maybe I could come up with a problem-solving method to help make this a little bit better or use my creativity because I'm a creative person. I'm a problem solver. Give me a chance to just figure it out. One of my best mentors, Mike Powell, I loved it when he said, here's basically the way I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know what I need done, the project I need done, but I'm going to give you the freedom to figure out the best way to do it. Today, in one of our training calls, one of our leaders was talking about how his leader, whenever he went to them, he's like, hey, I need to get this done. I need help with this. And the guy's like, just get it done. Just figure it out, get it done. Actually, I wrote that in my notes. That's actually make it happen. It goes, hey, make it happen. However, it needs to, and it opens up a creative way. Now, here's where I wanted to implement. At church, whenever I had a chance to direct, I like going early. I like going early to watch the band rehearse. I like to see and kind of know more or less what songs are be sung. I listen to see where where there's like strong instrumental parts, and I'm looking and paying attention on the whoever is leading that day, because different leaders do things differently, and you kind of learn from their mannerisms. But of course, it's all in all spirit led, so you also got to put that into consideration. But one of my favorite things is I'll look and I'll basically get a blueprint. Like, all right, so we're going from this. I know this is heavy guitar, so I'm going to focus over it, and I'll pay attention which guitarist is the one leading, because I want to make sure I give my camera people that direction. And so once I get that idea, then when all the camera operators show up, I personally would walk with everyone. I will, as they come in, I like, oh, you are on camera, this one, walk with me. I got some notes. That's what I tell everyone. I got some notes. Like, okay, and they would love that. They would love that instruction. They would love that chance to, all right, let's see what you got. And I would walk them. I show them where the area's at, and I said, this is gonna happen. They sang this song. I would like you to focus on this and this, or try to get this, and I would set limited boundaries. Because through for the whole big picture, it says we definitely need to get this, and we need to get this, and we need to get this. I'm assigning you to at least, as much as you can, get this things that we need, so we can help tell the story what's going on. However, and this is the one thing I would always tell everyone, I would use a scripture verse from Chronicles, where was it King Samuel? I think it's in Samuel, where the prophet Nathan was giving advice to King David, and King David asked him, what should I do about this? Or should I do this? And the prophet answered him and said, do what is right in your heart, for the Spirit of the Lord is with you. And I love quoting that to all of my camera operators. Like, look, I'm giving you these boundaries. However, I also give you permission to do what is right in your heart, for the Spirit of the Lord is with you. If you see something that looks cool, if you see something from your angle, like, hey, I'm going to try this out. He goes, I gave him permission, like, try it, do it. I can see everything going on over here. And if I like it, I'll let you know, hey, repeat that. And so I would give him that freedom. And I would also, I would break certain rules of filmmaking. Because to me, it's a live show, so I didn't care about the different the cameras crossing all that. I was having fun, but I was letting them do the best they could do with the boundaries I gave them, but then also add on to it. And what that happened, what would come out of this was such a creative moments that people are like, dude, how was that orchestrated? And I mean, I couldn't really take credit for everything. I'm a permission giving director. Yes, I give them boundaries because they need some kind of boundaries, but at the same time, I needed to give them freedom to make it their own, to let them express themselves, use their creativity. Because sometimes as a leader, there is a way to start off. Yes, when you first start, the follow me is, first of all, get to know me, get to know why I'm doing, get to know my heart. Then the help me is, now I'm gonna trust you to help me with this aspect. So, or just walk with me. I'm gonna show you how I do it. Like, I'd set those boundaries. Like, I'm showing you what I would do, but at the same time, I'm giving you the creative permission to express yourself. And that's when, like, all right, so now take care of this for me. So I take care of it. It's your baby now, so treat it like your own. I mean, technically, the responsibility comes to me still, so just remember that I'm still kind of here. If it hits the fan, I'm the one who's going to take the fall. And that's one thing also, leaders, praises always go down, blame always comes up. I'm going to say that again, because you need to. If you're not strong enough to realize that praises should always go down when it comes to leadership, and blame will come up. So if my camera operators messed up, it's my fault. If they were not where they were supposed to be, it was my fault, because I took the load of their responsibility. And I would, yeah, that's all. And of course, technically, I could blame whoever my leaders was, but I implement, and this is just on the side note, the buck stops here. A true leader would say, you know what, blame comes up and stops with me, because I want to make sure we fix it so that it doesn't keep on going up. So blame me, go up. So, and if anything happens that was amazing, I think happened was good, my team did a phenomenal job. My team did this killer job. My team had such a creative eye. This camera operator, they heard, they caught, they knew what we needed, and they got the best shot. They were spirit led. I love that aspect of how I do leadership. Praise is down, blame goes up, but stops with me, because I'm going to make sure that we take care and we fix it, especially if it's in the power of my hands to fix it. Now, there's some things that you just can't do, and that's what I loved about my leader. When something got to the point where they just couldn't fix it, they're like, well, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. We'll take care of it. So my leaders taught me that. So that's what I. So if you ever find yourself working under someone who is just quick to blame their underlings, something goes wrong, get out. That's not the leader that you want to follow. You want to find a leader who would fight for you, who will stand for you, who will make sure that the good stuff comes down to you, and they will be the shield to protect you from the damage or the attacks. All right. So moving on. Now here's my favorite part. The fourth one. Man, we went through this show really fast. The fourth one. Show me. This is exciting because I don't know everything, and I don't pretend to know everything. I am a student of learning. I've become a student of, I can learn from the child, I can learn from the very aged, the well-aged. I can learn from my equal. I can learn from books. I can learn from movies. I can learn from songs. I am a student of growth and learning. I can definitely learn from failures. I can learn from other people's mistakes and failures. So I am not quick to believe that I know it all. Matter of fact, I love the fact that I don't need to busy my head. I don't need to fill my brain with needless information. I don't need to know it all. Why do I need to know it all? Because if I know it all, then there's no point in me surrounding myself with other people who can figure things out for me or can do things for me. If it's a one-man show, then it's gonna be a lonely road. I'd rather take the information I need to succeed in where I'm focused on, and let other people take on the responsibility to learn other things and be my hand. And now show me what you learn. Maybe I'll learn something else. And that's one thing I love about my leaders right now too, is they know a lot, and they've been teaching me a lot about business and entrepreneurship. But at the same time, there's things that I share with them. They're like, dude, tell me more about discipline. Tell me more about mindset. Tell me more about social media. Tell me more about the stuff you're doing with this area. And let's show me, implement these things. And it kind of makes me happy that I feel like I'm contributing something. Even the way that I'm starting to do my leadership, even the way that I'm starting to lead people, is I'm bringing them in. Like, bring them in. Walk with me. Join me. Help me with this. Right now, I just thought of something that it's a part of psychology. This is something I learned from my rabbi. All right, I'm sorry that I'm going backwards now, back to help me, but this is important about the help me. My rabbi taught me that the best way to get people to like you, it sounds weird, it almost sounds selfish, but the best way to get people to like you and to support you, and to get people to like you, is to let them support you, is to let them help you. Something about when you are a giver, you love more. Giving is expression of love. Giving is expression of I of just admiration. So, and this is so true. Some of the happiest people that I've seen in this world are people that are big givers. They contribute to their church, they contribute to their charities, they contribute to their families, they contribute to the need. They're constantly looking for ways to be a blessing, to give more, to do more for others. Not necessarily monetary or time. They give what they can of their time, of their money, of their resources, of their energy, of their attention. It's just the more they give, the more they love the people that they give to. On the contrary, you would think that the person who receives it is the most grateful people. But some of the most entitled, some of the most miserable people are those who are constantly dependent on others. They're constantly just takers and takers and takers. They never give. They're selfish with what little they have. They're just constantly, yes, I'll take this, 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 I'll take this. It's like remember when I put that video about like there's two rivers in the Nile, or there's two rivers in Israel. One is the Jordan River and the other one is, there's two bodies of water in Israel that are fed by the same river, the Jordan River. One is the Sea of Galilee and the other one is the Dead Sea. And the Jordan River runs through, and it's that famous river. It runs into the Sea of Galilee but continues to flow out. And so the Sea of Galilee has been a resource of life. Around that sea, there is so much production and life and cities and civilization that has grown from it. Some of the best fruit I've ever had, some of the best fish I've ever eaten were from the Sea of Galilee. It's just, it's a place that is blessed because it takes and it gives. It takes and it gives. It's just a flowing, or whatever comes in keeps going. Whereas at the Dead Sea is at one of the lowest positions in the world, so the water just flows to it, and there's no exit. There's nothing going out. So it's just constantly taking minerals, constantly taking all this stuff. So much salt, so much minerals that nothing can live in its waters. It is so salty, so much so that it's so buoyant that like if some people say you can't drown it because you try to go down and the water just pushes you back up because it's just so full of taking. But unfortunately, no life can survive in those waters because it's just so filled with the minerals and salt and such. So that's why it's called the Dead Sea, because there's nothing living in it. And that's kind of what happens when you become a giver. You have life. You find a way to appreciate and help people. So so all that to say, the best way to get people to like you is to give them an opportunity to help you. Psychology 101. I remember said, hey, I'm finding myself out. Like if I need a favor from someone who can help me out, I usually start the conversation. Hey, remember that time you helped me out with this? Like, oh yeah, hey, I was wondering if you can help me out with this. And like, oh yeah, gladly. They helped you before, they'll help you again. But the same token, knowing that, you can also help someone else. If there's someone you really want to like, let's work with this. Let's say you have someone who, I'm sorry, I'm going off on this tangent, but I felt important to harp on this point. Someone needs to hear this, or maybe I just need to hear itself. If you ever found yourself, I don't want to say hating, but really not liking an individual or a person, or just, yeah. If you just find yourself, something about this person just rubs me the wrong way, but you don't like that about you and you want to change that, the best way to get over is to start blessing that person. To start doing stuff for them. If there's someone that I don't want to say they're your enemy. Oh, that's why the Bible even says the more love and attention you give to your enemy, it's like putting on heaps of coal on them. That's the best way to get back at your enemy. Love them more, give them more, help them more. Anyway, so that's the fastest way to help your followers capture on your vision and fall in love with your vision is give them a chance to help you with your vision. Yeah, there you go. That's where I want to get that. Join me, help me, and take care of this for me. So now, once they fall in love with your vision, you can like, all right, now I'm going to let you've been helping me with this. Now I'm going to let you be responsible over this and run with this and do this. And then of course, fourth is now show me show me what you've done with what I gave you. Show me what you've done with the responsibility, and praise them, and let them, and be a student of whatever they've made of it, because they might show you things that'll blow you out of the water. You're like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that we could do this with that. I had no idea this could. And this person, especially if they've had a chance to help you and they want to keep the vision going, they will come up with their own ways to make it better, or make it faster, make it double time. And then the last one of the 5 points is, and this is the hardest for leaders, I think. Especially if you are so invested in your dream, in your vision, in your business, let's put it that way. This morning we were listening to like a motivational talk. I got one of the guys on the Shark Tank was talking about, most people are talking about their business is their baby. He goes, no, business is not your baby. It's an asset you're creating. If you're ready to sell it, like you done with it, sell it. But if you think you still monetize it, then don't sell it. But don't be scared to sell it because it's your baby, because this business is business. Your family is your baby. Your actual babies are your babies. That's what you need to cherish. Business is an asset you created for the purpose of eventually growing it to as much as you can and then selling it to someone else. That's what a true entrepreneur is. That's why most people I don't know if I want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't understand that the true nature of an entrepreneur is to create an asset with the intent to sell it, to monetize as much as you can and then sell it. And then you create another asset, and then eventually or learn to sell it, or whatever money, become an investor. It's about learning to let go. You use your creative ability to grow something amazing, and maybe you want to work it, and you can, but at the end of the day, you can't let this asset be your life. Let's take off of business. Let's go to church leadership. I remember I had this conversation with my dad, who was a pastor. And one time he was kind of saying, he was thinking about the future. When he's like, man, he's like, I don't know who to leave the church to, because there's people who want to come in. He goes, but I don't want anyone to come in from the outside. I don't want anyone to come in and take and go through the church, because they didn't grow up in here. They don't know what it's like. I need someone who was born here, who will cherish this. And I get it. I get it about the legacy. I get it about taking care of it. But he was more like, his fear was if someone from the outside was going to come in, they were going to destroy it. And then, thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I have proven myself. I have fruit enough that I can talk to him as an equal. I'm like, this is minister to minister, or this is leader to leader talking, not so much son to father. With all due respect, Jefe. If this church is dependent on you and your leadership, if it's dependent on you, then it deserves to die. Because it's my belief that the church is not yours. It is God's. It is His. He stewarded you. He entrusted you. And if you're faithful, then you can move forward, and you know that it will keep on going, because God's will continue to be done. It's not dependent on you. It's dependent on, and he kind of like, yeah. Like, so if you're so worried about it failing once you're gone, if you don't leave someone or if it's not someone who you yourself mentor, but of course I do believe there's a vision. You need to understand the vision of the church, where it's been going. But one thing I learned from John Maxwell is, when you leave, or if you move to another church, or move on to another realm, that vision, the new pastor needs to come up with a new vision, or change somewhat, needs to come in, or else that church. This is something we learn in church planning. The 7 words of a dying church or a dying ministry are, we've never done it that way before. If they're not willing to adapt, if they're not willing to change, if they're not willing to try things new, then they're already on the way out. So anyway, all that to say, how did this show me? Show me. give them a chance to teach you something new. You might learn something that you can then apply to your next venture, to your next leadership, to your next leadership role. Always be a student to learn more and learn from your subordinates. Learn from them. Learn how they're doing. Learn why they're doing it this way. You've shown them how to do it and it's worked. Maybe it didn't work, or maybe they tried something different and now it's working for them. Learn why. Ask why. Show me why. But at the same time, celebrate the uniqueness there in their creativity. That's why whenever my camera operators would come up with an awesome shot, I would like, sick. I love it. Great shot. And actually one of my favorite footages that's still online. You can find it today. And I love it because my director told me, hey, technically you directed this. And the footage that we use, except for we added a few, we had a what's his name? Cruz came in and he had the handheld that he added things, but he wasn't part of my team. But yet we've worked before in the past. He even worked at TPEC a few times, and it was cool getting to work with him there because I was a technical director. But they added a few pieces of his footage, but the rest of the storytelling, the rest of what was used was things that I got to direct through my team. And it was just, I just gave him the boundaries and I worked with. Of course, I did direct it differently than a normal service because I knew they wanted to use the footage eventually for the release of this video. If you want to know more about that video, it's online. I could probably put it in the commentaries, or you know what, just ask me and I'll share it with you. But my director says that I could always use this to promote myself as a producer and as a director, and it actually helped give me some freelancing work because I was able to add this to my portfolio. It's pretty cool. Anyway, the last one that I was talking about, this is the one that's hardest, is once they've joined you, once they've helped you, once you've given them a chance to take care of this for you, and then now they're showing you what they're doing. This is the part where you say, okay, now I need you to lead this for me, or just lead me. I can safely release this and trust that wherever you take this, I can follow you. I'm a big advocate for working myself out of a job when it comes to leadership. In every ministry role that I ever took, I always try to find someone to take over the worship ministry for me, someone to take over the teaching ministry for me, someone to take over the preaching ministry for me, someone to take over the discipleship part, someone that I could pour into, and they first would join me, and I had these giftings to start and implement and let them grow, and then they started helping me in these areas, and eventually started growing. They started showing their unique creative side, so I would then delegate and let them kind of own it and run with it. Here's the most important part, though, and I just said that the key phrase about owning it, and then now show me what you're doing different, or just show me what you're doing. I'm intrigued to see how much you've grown, or what's become of this, and then now you are the leader of this. Now I don't have to be singing the songs. You can lead worship for me. I don't have to be speaking the message. You can lead and speak for me. I don't have to be directing. You can now direct for me, and I can sit down and just enjoy what's going on. I don't mind that, and I can actually start focusing in other areas of need where I can plug in and start leading in other areas. Here's why this is important. Because the moment that you've released them, the moment that they are now leading, that means they have taken ownership of your vision. And once your followers take ownership of what you're doing, they will fight for it. They will defend it. It will become their baby, and they will run with it. They will make sure that it won't die, and then legacy can happen. You can reinvent yourself. You can move forward. That's the most important part, y'all. Once it becomes about them and you pour into them and you show them, first of all, they join you. Then they're helping you. Then they can take care of it for you. And then they will they will start showing you how they can implement it, make it better, and be humble about it. Don't let your arrogance your arrogance be the reason that your vision fails. And then, of course, at the end, then let them take ownership and lead it for you. And then you can move on to something greater. Teacher, builder, whatever. Anyway, those are 5 steps that I've learned in the fields, in the different fields of ministry, media production, business, I guess live theater as a technical director. Just in every aspect, the first step, and just to repeat, and we'll end at this. The first step is, hey, join me, get to know me. Second step, now help me. I can't do this alone, and I want you to like me, so help me. Third step, now take care of this for me. I got a lot on my plate, but I trust that you can do this for me. Fourth step, show me what you're doing. Show me what's become of this that I gave you. I just want to know what you've implemented, how you've made it better. Because the goal is to always leave wherever you are better than before. And then the last step is, you know what? Lead me now. Be a leader. Be the leader that I can follow. And I know that I can stand behind you. I can follow you, and I have no problem in following you in this area now. Because they have taken ownership, they have owned the vision, and they're moving forward. So my Rockstar friends, those are the 5, I guess if you want to call them steps, that I've learned on how to lead like a rock star. I guess there's nothing else to add on to that. If you like this, please leave a comment. If you didn't like it, hey, just leave a comment too. For those of you who might be looking for an opportunity, who say, you know what, Josafat, I would like to learn more. I would like to learn more about leadership. I would like to keep my hands on it and just try it out and figure it out. Or hey, I want to be one of those guys who wants to join you, and I want to help you, and I want to learn these things. If you're looking for a chance, reach out to me. We have a place where we can plug you in and start teaching you things. Because like I said, now I'm focused on finding and mentoring leaders and entrepreneurs to become the rock star of their industry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this was episode 78 of Hey Rockstar. Lead like a rock star. Again, everything I share hopefully brought value to you. If you found any value in this, value that helped you detach from failure, take ownership, take ownership and develop the right mindset to become the rock star of your industry, then please share this with those that you know. Like it, do whatever you can, and tell more people about this. Because in the end, everything in this platform is to help focus on. And if there are any other areas that you would like to learn having to do with leadership and entrepreneurship, or even financial education, let me know. I would love to teach more about different things as we're growing. Next week, I will be out of the country, but I'm making plans to do a live show from my neck of the woods, because apparently I will have Wi-Fi where I'm at. And I'm planning to have a special guest. He's a repeat guest. I've had him last year. He was an artist friend of mine, and he'll be live with me in this country. So looking forward to that. So until next time, all the way today, I'm coming to you from Andrews, America. My name again is Josafat El Guapo Emiliano. And until next time, much love and many blessings.